Okay, so this is my AI entrance. This is my real entrance. I hate to disappoint you. But of course we're here to talk about AI, right? Because it is the number one topic, right, that everyone sees. Of course it is. If you're an executive, you read stories like Klarna. Now their AI chatbot is, they claim, doing the job of 700 people, right? And saving them $40 million a year. You're rejoicing if you're an executive. And then the next day you read a news story like this, which was Air Canada, where their chatbot, famously, many of you will have read about this, invented a refund policy, hallucinated a refund policy, which the courts then said the business had to honor, right? So as an executive, you're thinking, where do I stand on AI, right? Is this going to save me millions of dollars, or is this going to put me up in court, right? So we're all a bit confused. The pace of change, every time you open your computer, you see new AI innovations, and you're thinking, how on earth do I deal with this? And this is where I come in, right? I am not an AI guy, but what am I here to talk to you about AI? Well, what I am is an author, right? As you heard, I wrote this book called The Future Normal. And even the title here hints at what I do, because we are trying to not just predict the future, but trying to predict what will become normal, what will align with people. Because in a world where everything feels like it's changing, I love this quote from Jeff Bezos, right? If you won't take it from me, maybe you'll take it from one of the richest men in the world. And he was asked, he was on a stage like this in an event, a retail event, before the Gen AI boom, right? This is 5 or 6 years ago. And the journalist said, "Jeff, what are you working on? Tell us the future of retail." And he looked at her, he said, "I'm always asked this question, but it's very interesting. No one has ever asked me the other side of this question, which is what is not changing." And he says, "I put it to you that for me and my leadership team at Amazon, this second question, what is not changing, is actually far more important, because this is what we build our business around." He said, "We know that in 10 years' time, no customer will ever come up to me and say, 'Jeff, we love Amazon, but we wish you have higher prices and slower delivery times,' right? This is never, ever, ever going to happen." So he said, facial recognition, big data, Internet of Things, AI, drone delivery, all of this stuff serves these fundamental purposes, right? And so this is why, if you look on my LinkedIn, I call myself a reluctant futurist. I'm often introduced as a futurist. I call myself a reluctant futurist. And I want you to be a reluctant futurist as well, right? Because what I do is not to think just about the future, right? About things we can't imagine, we see in science fiction. What I do, and what I want you to do, is to look at what is happening today and use those signals that we see, the weak signals from today, to think about what the future opportunities for your business are, right? Because the future is not already created. We and you, specifically as business leaders, have an ability to create a better future for us all. And the secret, if you remember one thing from this presentation, it's not about AI. It's about how to anticipate the future, how to spot and seize the opportunities. It is this. It is the very things which threaten to overwhelm us as business leaders. I said at the beginning, every time you sit down at your computer, you're hit with news of a new AI startup, a new AI innovation. It is actually these very innovations which are your secret weapon when it comes to anticipating the future. So what I would urge you to do is look at innovations in other markets, perhaps, other industries, not just hospitality industry, other parts of the world, innovations aimed at other demographics to the ones you serve. But look for innovations that are changing people's expectations. Because, and I've written about this a lot, right? This is why I think innovations are the secret weapon. Because customer expectations, your expectations, my expectations, are set by our experiences. Right? Once we are aware something is possible, we start to apply that as our expectation around what we expect from businesses, right? So think about it, when you get in an Uber, the first time you get in an Uber, you jump in the car, right? You know where it is, it knows your destination, you can track the route to make sure the driver is going the right way, you don't need to touch your wallet, you can share your arrival time with the person you're meeting. It's a very digitally transparent experience. Then you walk into a restaurant and you have none of this. You look at the menu, you don't know which dishes are good, you don't know if your waiter is a 1-star waiter or a 5-star waiter, you don't know when your food is going to arrive, when it comes to split the bill, This is a whole nother problem. Consciously or subconsciously, we believe your expectations will be set in other industries and they will move across. So that's enough preamble from me, right? I just want to share with you 3 really powerful, non-obvious insights around how AI may change your strategy in the coming weeks, months, years. And the first thing I want to challenge, right, is this is what we read every single day. We read that AI is coming for our jobs, right? We're all going to be out of work. I just don't buy this. Right? If you look at the data, if you look back at what's happened in the past, right, we see things like this, and I'll talk you through this graph, so don't worry, right? The red line is the number of bookkeepers, okay, the number of people who just used to sit there entering the financial numbers into the books. These vertical lines here are spreadsheet programs. VisiCalc, Lotus 123, Microsoft Excel, right? This is in the early 1980s. When spreadsheets were released, almost overnight, we start to see the number of bookkeepers falls. Bookkeepers lose their jobs. But what happens? We create new jobs, right? The green is management analysts. This is a job which the US government didn't even track in 1980, right? Suddenly, there are nearly 2 times as many management analysts as there are bookkeepers in a few years, right? Of course, we lose bookkeeper jobs, but the finance function expands. We can do more in the finance function. These are higher paid, these are more interesting jobs. And so this is my provocation to you, is actually in the world of AI, what will happen is, yes, maybe we will have less people, but we will have better jobs. And one example of this, one really practical example which I love, this is from last year. IKEA, they now have a customer service chatbot. And they said this chatbot now answers 50% of their incoming customer queries. I lost the instructions. When is my delivery coming? So what did they do? They took 8,000 people that used to just answer these basic customer queries, and they retrained them as interior designers. So now, for £25, $30, you can call up, you get a 45-minute consultation on Zoom, and they give you a list of IKEA products. If you pay £100, $130, right, you get a 3D visualization of a room done for you. So it's basic interior design. It's not like high-end, but very disruptively affordable, right? They do a new, more interesting, more highly paid, better job. And in hospitality, let's bring it back to your industry, I'm fascinated by this restaurant. This is opened in New York a few weeks ago. It's a new restaurant concept from a founder of Chipotle, the burrito restaurant. And he has this restaurant called Colonel. It's a robot-augmented restaurant. You can see here, this is the kitchen, this is the robot arm. It is not a fully automated restaurant. But what he does is he uses robots to reduce the number of people in each restaurant to 3. 3 members of staff, which means he pays them more. He gives them a holiday. He gives them stock options. He says, I want to end being a waiter, fast food server, as a muck job. I want this to be a good career. We get better staff. They stay with us longer. They deliver a better customer experience. This is his vision. And he has this amazing quote. He says, we've taken a lot of human interaction out of the process. We have. But we've left just enough. And I love this question. And I think this is the question which every executive needs to be asking themselves in the coming years, is what is just enough human interaction in my business? Because the truth is, if all we cared about was price and speed and efficiency, we would have no coffee shops. We would just have vending machines everywhere. But we don't, right? We have coffee shops all over every street in the world. So the question I would ask you to think about is, what if the future normal of work was less people doing better jobs and delivering a better guest experience? How would this change your business? Right, the second thought I want to throw at you is sparked by an idea from Garry Kasparov. So he calls himself, this is a chess player, famously beaten by IBM's Deep Blue 20 years ago. He says he is the first knowledge worker threatened by AI. This is what he calls himself. But he also says, we still watch chess. Right? We're not interested in watching 2 computers play chess. And this is Magnus Carlsen, right? The new chess prodigy, right, of today. He said he's not out of a job. We still watch Magnus Carlsen play chess. Because this is the mistake that people make. When they think about human versus machine, we imagine that the humans will stay still and the machines will get better and better. But of course they don't. the humans, we use AI to get better, right? So a few examples we have of how your staff will start to become superhuman, right? Because your staff of tomorrow will not be the staff of today. So just a few examples, right? This is Hume. This is a new startup in the US, and they have launched what they call empathetic AI. So this is an AI, a language model, which, by the way, in the notes, if anyone wants the slides to this afterwards, feel free, send me an email, add me on LinkedIn. I will send you, it's just in PowerPoint, right? It's very unsexy, but I know it's easy for you to use. In the notes to all of the slides, there are links to the companies that I'm talking about. So I'm moving very fast, but you can take this. There is a demo. You can go and try it out. You go to their website, you speak into it, and it tells you your emotional state, right? It uses, if you're in video, you can maps your face. So we're starting to see AIs which will be better at sensing human emotion than humans are. And then you see products like Meta's, Ray-Bans, smart glasses. These are available now, you can order them online, $300. They have a small camera in the top, and this, from a demo video, she's looking at a hot sauce bottle in a language she doesn't understand. She says, Meta AI, please translate this for me. Real-time translation, emotion sensing. You can see where this is going. Imagine someone front of house, someone in reception in a few years, right? They will have perfect memory, right? As the guest walks in, they will know what they are feeling. They will be able to speak any language for them, right? The humans of tomorrow will not be the humans of today. We will use AI to be superhumans. And the final example I want to share with you is, again, like probably something that you are maybe not thinking about so much, but I'm fascinated by how AI is going to change behavior in the real world. Because we've seen again and again, all through time, from the Industrial Revolution with the railways, through to the car and suburbia, how we move people and goods changes the economics of society. Right? As you say, the car unleashes suburbia. And what we are going to see in the near future, right, we know this, is autonomous vehicles of all shapes and sizes will transform the way we move people and goods, and in the process change the landscape for the hospitality industry. Right? We will see local markets of tomorrow look very different from the local markets of today. Right? Just one example, I love this example. This is an Irish drone delivery company, Manna Drones. They're in operation in Ireland today, doing over 10,000 deliveries a day. One of their most popular delivered items is hot coffee. Right? Because the economics, right? Whereas to deliver something on a bike in the UK costs you over nearly 10 euros, or in Ireland, this costs you less than €1, and it happens in 2 minutes 40 seconds is their average delivery time from the hub. Right? And this is the CEO. He says, we deliver coffee like barista coffee. This is not like McDonald's coffee. This is with the foam, with the little picture on tact. So it changes people's behavior, what you can order. And this is sending goods out. We also know, just around the corner, autonomous vehicles and also flying taxis, right? This is a futurist dream. This is what we've been talking about for decades, right? Finally, autonomous, electric, flying taxis, flying cars seem to be just around the corner, and this is very big in the region, right? This is just from, when was this? This is earlier this week, right? Abu Dhabi announcing the first operational vertiport. So the question I would ask you is, when you're thinking about the next 10 years, the assumptions you make around your local market today will be very different thanks to AI, is the provocation I would leave you with. So look, this is obviously I've just had 15 minutes. I've only scratched the surface of what is possible. Right? I write a newsletter every week as well, looking at some of the innovations which are changing customer expectations in all different industries, not just hospitality industry. So if you want to know more, do sign up to that. Right? Just scratched the tip of the iceberg here. But what I would love for you to take away is, as well as some tangible ideas to take forward into your planning, it's this different way of seeing the world, which says that yes, we are completely overwhelmed, right? The world around us feels like it's changing faster than ever. But the secret to anticipating the future direction lies, you don't have to be a science fiction writer to imagine futures that are completely intangible. Look at the innovations that are coming into the marketplace today and ask yourselves, how are they changing customer expectations around the basic human needs and wants that my business serves. Because the truth is, the only future we will make is the one we are able to imagine. And so with that, thank you very much and good luck. Thank you.